Hey, want a cookie? Oh, I know you just ate, so you're craving something a little sweet. Besides, one cookie isn't gonna kill you. How about half? Just a bite? Bite it. Bite it. Bite it.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. Your affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on a path to successful weight loss by quieting food noise.
Bite it.
Shh. Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about. Like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
Voices for Justice is a podcast that uses adult language and discusses sensitive and potentially triggering topics, including violence, abuse, and murder. This podcast may not be appropriate for younger audiences. All parties are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Some names have been changed or omitted per their request or for safety purposes. Listener discretion is advised. My name is Sarah Turney, and this is Voices for Justice. Today, I'm discussing the case of Madeline Kingsbury from Winona, Minnesota. About a week before recording this episode, I got a Google alert for my sister Alyssa's name. Usually these just mention weird taglines from old stories or maybe a random mention online. But when I opened the email, I read the title, Madeline Maddi Kingsbury, 5 Fast Facts to Know, heavy.com. So I clicked the link. The article explains that Maddi went missing on March 31st of this year, so 2023, after she and the father of her children, Adam Fravel, dropped their kids off at daycare. The article goes on to discuss Maddi's life and specifically some of her activity on social media throughout the years. Things like her looking for childcare, her being upset about mass shootings in the country, the overturn of Roe v. Wade, racism in policing. I mean, obviously Maddi is a very passionate person. And then I saw it. She shared my sister Alyssa's story. Maddi was a part of Alyssa's army. That's when I knew I had to help, and fast, to pay it forward and help her like she helped Alyssa. This is a very new case, and there are a lot of ways you can help, so let's dig right in. This is the case of Madeline Kingsbury. As the last week of March 2023 was coming to an end, 26-year-old Maddi Kingsbury was looking forward to a weekend away with her older sister Megan in Minneapolis. Maddi lives with her 2 children, 5-year-old Ellie and 2-year-old Noah, along with their father, Adam Fravel, in Winona, Minnesota, about 2 hours away from Megan. So the sisters aren't terribly far apart, but far enough that they usually opted for daily texts, calls, and FaceTime chats over traveling hours to see each other in person. On Thursday, March 30th, Megan and Maddi are chatting over FaceTime. It was just Ellie's 5th birthday, and Aunt Megan got her a new leotard for gymnastics that she was very excited to show her before they headed off to class. The plan for the weekend was for Maddi and Ellie to drive to Megan in Minneapolis on Saturday, while Noah stayed home with his father Adam. On the morning of Friday, March 31st, Maddi and Adam drop the kids off at daycare just after 8 a.m. and return home. Around 10 a.m., Adam takes Maddi's 2014 dark blue Town & Country Chrysler Minivan out for a few hours. Now, reports don't exactly say why he took the van or what he was doing while he was gone. But when Adam returns around 1:30 p.m., Maddi is gone. At this point, Maddi's friends, family, and employer don't know this. As far as I could find, Adam doesn't tell anyone Maddi was gone when he got home, or at least not her family. Maddi doesn't show up for her job as a clinical researcher at the Mayo Clinic. Now, while Maddi does often work from home, on the 31st she planned on making the about hour drive into the office, but she was a no-call, no-show. Here is Maddi's sister Megan explaining what happened next in an interview with Lou Raguse from KARE 11 News.
We both get up really early for work, and she's up early with the kids. So I will typically hear from her before 8 a.m. sometimes. I had sent her a funny photo the night before. We went on a trip together last summer, just a long weekend to Rhode Island. So it was just a funny picture from there. She didn't see it until that morning of the 31st, and she just kind of sent a response back, LOL, and, and I had responded to it, just kind of general, like, chit chat. And that was at like 8:15 that she sent me a message. And then that was the last that I heard from her. And I didn't hear from her the rest of the day. I didn't really think about it. I know she's busy. And then my mom reached out to me probably around 6 p.m. asking if I had heard from Madeline, because my mom had sent some messages and I think maybe tried to call her throughout the day with no response, and that just isn't normal. And I was like, nah, she's fine. She's probably busy with the kids. But I did send her a few messages. Hey, mom's concerned. Can you call her, text her back? I didn't get a response to that. So a couple of hours went by, and I tried to call her a few times. It rang, but went to voicemail. Sent her a few other messages. And it was about 7:00. I reached out to some friends of hers. Nobody else had heard from her. And that's when we kind of started to get concerned. I reached out to my dad. He usually talks to her regularly too. He hadn't heard from her. So at that point, especially because she was supposed to come to my house the next morning with her daughter, Ellie, there were definitely some alarm bells going off because it just was so unlike her. And then just as it got later into the night and, she still wasn't responding or picking up her phone, pretty quickly we wanted to file a missing persons report because it's just such abnormal behavior.
And were you and other family members reaching out to Adam as well to see what he knew?
I did reach out to him that evening at about 7 p.m. Close to 8 p.m. He didn't get back to me, I think, until after 9. But just kind of given the circumstances of their relationship at the time, he just basically said he didn't really think anything of it, that he hadn't heard from her.
But Maddi's family has the opposite reaction. They know she would never just miss work and not show up to pick her kids up from daycare or come home to them that night. Maddi is a high achiever. She's a grad student. She is actively working to advance her career and her personal life. Everything about this situation is just extremely out of character for Maddi. Investigators are dispatched to Maddi and Adam's home. Now, we don't know if Adam voluntarily let them search the home or if they had to obtain a search warrant. But when they do, they realize just how dire the situation really is. It's clear that wherever Maddi is, she didn't plan on being gone long. Because in the home, they find Maddi's phone and her wallet.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode of Voices for Justice is sponsored by Chewy. If you have pets, you probably know about Chewy, and you also know that when they say that they have everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy, they're not messing around. To keep them happy, Chewy has over 100,000 products from all the brands my pets love at prices I love. To keep them healthy, Chewy offers pet prescriptions, pet insurance, telehealth vet visits, and they're even rolling out vet clinics across the country. I've been shopping with them for a very long time. And in addition to the auto ship feature that gets the dog's food to them every single month, I also love to experiment with different treats. But I'm a bit picky. For me, it has to be high quality with simple ingredients. I recently picked up treats from Shepherd Boy Farms that are 100% just chicken breast. Popcorn and Heber are already obsessed. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewpanions.chewy.com/SarahETurney. That's chewpanions.chewy.com/SarahETurney to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. chewpanions.chewy.com/SarahETurney. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. The response to Maddi's disappearance has been enormous. The media, law enforcement, and the community have been working tirelessly to bring her home since her case first hit the news cycle. The searches for Maddi began immediately, and so did the investigation into the day she went missing. On April 3rd, the Winona Police Department released a statement that reads in part, quote, "Since March 31st, investigators have interviewed numerous people, including family and friends. Investigators have been canvassing neighborhoods, searching areas, and attempting to collect any video surveillance that might give us clues as to where Kingsbury or her van, a 2014 dark blue Chrysler Town & Country, may have traveled. Recent developments led investigators to believe a van matching the description of Kingsbury's was seen traveling from Winona to the eastern part of Fillmore County during the day on March 31st. The Winona Police Department and the Fillmore County Sheriff's Office are asking residents and landowners in eastern Fillmore County to check their properties, including any video cameras, doorbell cameras, game cameras, etc., for any signs of the van passing through or stopping. In addition, we asked residents/landowners to check for signs of a disturbance or other suspicious activity. We are specifically looking for information during the time frame of 8 a.m. on March 31st to 4 p.m. on April 1st, along the highway corridor of Winona and Fillmore counties." End quote. In just the first few days after Maddi went missing, law enforcement, family, friends, and volunteers covered over 30 miles of ground looking for Maddi, which is just incredible. Now, the day after the statement was released on April 5th, Maddi's family joins the Winona Police Department in a press conference, and Maddi's sister Megan takes the mic. I want to warn you that the clip I'm going to play you is hard to hear, but it's powerful. You can just hear this internal struggle Megan has between being rightfully extremely emotional and knowing she needs to continue to get the facts out. I can tell you that is not an easy thing to do. I will discuss how amazing and brave Maddi's sister Megan has been throughout this process. But for now, here's Megan.
I'm not a public speaker, so appreciate your patience with me. Thank you all for coming. My family and I really appreciate all of the attention and wanting to help. I'm Megan Kingsbury. I'm Maddi's older sister. Speaking on behalf of my entire family, those of us in town, out of state, including my older brother, Stephen, wasn't able to make it here at the moment. He's overseas on deployment. He's currently en route from Romania to be here. As it's been said, we all know, and I know everyone wants details about the investigation and what's been discovered. I'm not talking about that right now. And to be honest, I don't know everything either. I'm here to talk about Madeline and her children. Sorry. Madeline is many things. She's a mother, sister, daughter, best friend, granddaughter, and a niece. It's a long list. She's a young mother of two, 5-year-old Eliana, 2-year-old Noah. Ellie is spunky and goofy. She loves to be crafty and creative. She's inherited her mother's kindness and curiosity about the world. Little Noah has turned into a chatterbox. Can't tell what he says half the time. He loves to dance. He loves rock and roll, and he was blessed with the redheaded gene for my grandfather. It's missed everyone else. So he's got dimples and eyes that sparkle. And Madeline is a hardworking and dedicated mother, as well as a grad student at the U of M, and works for the Mayo Clinic. Family is everything to her. She's grown into an impressive and beautiful young woman. This community has really rallied around us, and so many wonderful people have traveled from all over the state and beyond to come and help find my sister, and we're beyond grateful, and we're truly touched. Law enforcement obviously has been extremely hardworking, and we'll never be able to thank everyone enough for what they're doing for Madeline, and we will remain loud about this and continue to advocate for Madeline any way, shape, or form. We're offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to her whereabouts. So please help us find Madeline. The children need their mother. We need our daughter, our sister, our aunt, and our best friend back. Yeah, we just want to find her. So, thank you.
Like I said, it's not an easy clip to hear, but this is the reality of the hole Maddi being missing has left in her loved ones' lives. And I don't think it's fair to anyone to sugarcoat or ignore that. But aside from humanizing Maddi and discussing the impact her disappearance has had, the Winona Police Department provides a more detailed timeline of the day she went missing, information about Adam, the investigative efforts to find Maddi, and how the public can help.
I'm Winona Police Chief Tom Williams. I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to spread the word about the disappearance of Madeline Maddi Kingsbury. We are very hopeful that we will find her. Maddi was last seen the morning of Friday, March 31st. Maddi and the father of their children dropped the children off at daycare shortly after 8 a.m. Maddi did not show up for work, which is very unlike her, and we are worried for her safety. During the course of our investigation, we know that Maddi returned to her residence on Cary Drive in Winona around 8:15 a.m. on March 31st. The vehicle that Maddi normally drives is a 2014 dark blue Chrysler Town & Country minivan, depicted to my right. The father of Maddi's children has spoken to law enforcement and told us that he left the residence in Maddi's van around 10 a.m. and upon returning later in the day, Maddi was not home. We believe a van similar to Maddi's van was driven on County Road 12 and Highway 43 in Winona County, and then southbound on Highway 43 through the eastern part of Fillmore County. Later, a van similar to Maddi's traveled back toward Winona on Highway 43. All of this occurred between approximately 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. We believe the van remained parked in the driveway of Maddi's residence from 1:30 p.m. on. Nothing to date has indicated that Maddi left the residence on foot or in another vehicle. The public has asked if we are currently looking for the van, and we are not. Investigators have searched the van and the residence. Inside the residence, investigators located Maddi's phone, the jacket she had been wearing earlier in the morning, along with her wallet and ID. Maddi's family and friends tried to contact Maddi throughout the day on March 31st without success. It was unlike her not to respond. Based on all of this, we believe Maddi's disappearance is involuntary, suspicious, and we are all concerned for her safety. Law enforcement began searching areas nearby Maddi's residence and along Highway 43 in both Winona and Fillmore counties. Our search efforts have been ongoing. We've been assisted by other law enforcement agencies and volunteers. Our search efforts have included people on foot, in vehicles, as well as by water and air. We are doing everything we can to bring Maddi home. We have spoken with many of her family members and friends and are actively following any developing information. No stone is being left unturned, and we are using every tool at our disposal to find her. Many of you have asked how you can help, and we really appreciate that. Here's what we are asking the public to do. If you live in or around Winona and Fillmore counties, especially along and around the routes previously mentioned, we're asking you to walk your property, check out buildings, and have a good look around for any signs that someone passed that way or for signs of a disturbance. Please check any cameras that you have on your property, including game cams, doorbell cams, and security cams. Look for someone passing by. We also ask that you check the video for a dark blue minivan driving by or stopping. Regardless of whether you see something or not, if you have a camera along any of the mentioned routes, please save any video from March 31st to April 1st and contact law enforcement. If you know anything or saw something suspicious, please call the Winona Police Department or Crime Stoppers. Your information might be the final piece that brings Maddi home.
Now, I know it can be hard to picture or remember the areas discussed, so I will share the maps of the areas published by the Winona Police Department on our website and social media channels. As of recording this episode, the Winona PD has not confirmed if the van they are discussing was Maddi's van, and they either don't know or won't say who was driving the vehicle. This episode of Voices for Justice is brought to you by Quince. I've been trying to be more intentional about what I wear each day. I'm leaning into pieces that feel effortless, comfortable, and still put together, and Quince has been my go-to. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are flattering, and everything just works without overthinking it. They use premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and ultra-soft denim. And the best part? Everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for quality and craftsmanship, not brand markup. I recently just ordered their tiered linen dress, of course in black. I wanted to pair it with one of my favorite pairs of brown wedges. The problem was, I didn't have a brown purse, so I got that from Quince too. It's one of my favorite outfits. It's easy, effortless, and feels amazing, especially as we're getting a little bit warmer here in Phoenix. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/justice for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/justice for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/justice.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix's Remarkably Bright Creatures. What if a Pacific octopus held the key to a mystery that could heal your heart? Well, that's Tova's reality. An elderly widow working at an aquarium, Tova forms an unlikely friendship with the curmudgeonly Marcellus, whose remarkable intelligence leads her to a life-changing discovery. Remarkably Bright Creatures is now playing, only on Netflix.
After this, the Winona Police Department conducts some massive searches for Maddi. Between the time when Maddi went missing on the 31st and April 8th, Maddi's friends, family, and thousands of volunteers showed up for these searches. Of course, there was also a heavy law enforcement presence and a variety of teams searching different areas, including the several bodies of water in the area. But so far, it seems that no sign of Maddi has been found. On April 8th, the Winona Police Department announces that they are ending the large, organized searches for Maddi. But that doesn't mean the searches stopped altogether. At this point, they just shift their focus to more targeted searches as leads continue to come in. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Adam. I don't think I really need to say much to acknowledge the suspicions I think most of us have. But suspicions aren't facts, so let's go over some of what we know. And to be honest, at this point, it's not a ton. Both law enforcement and Maddi's loved ones have been very cautious about what they say about Adam. So I'm gonna follow their lead. But here's what's being reported. According to Megan, Maddi and Adam are not currently in a romantic relationship. Maddi was actively looking for a new place to live, but planned to stay nearby so Adam could see the kids. The owner of the daycare the kids were dropped off at confirms that it is not unusual for both Maddi and Adam to drop the kids off together. However, Megan says that Adam picking them up alone is unusual in her opinion. We also know that Maddi and Adam each have their own vehicle. Maddi has the 2014 dark blue Chrysler Town & Country minivan. I don't know what type of vehicle Adam has. We just know that he does have his own transportation. So why he would take Maddi's van instead of his own car, I don't know. And I haven't seen any statements from Maddi's loved ones that would give us further insight into this, aside from a mention that while Maddi's car had car seats installed, Adam's didn't. Now, while we're talking about the van, I think it's worth mentioning that according to reporting from Fox 9 Minneapolis, a neighbor reported that on the day Maddi went missing, they saw Adam back the van into his driveway. They say this is something they've never seen before. While the home does have a garage, the report doesn't make any mention of it. Now, let's discuss Adam's first and, as of this recording, only official public statement about Maddi being missing. On April 11th, he issued a statement through his lawyer that reads, quote, "Over the course of the last 12 days, my family and I have been subject to a myriad of accusations regarding the disappearance of the mother of my children, Maddi Kingsbury. During these last 12 days, I have cooperated with law enforcement at every turn, including sitting down for multiple interviews with Winona County law enforcement. I did not have anything to do with Maddi's disappearance. I want the mother of my 5-year-old and 2-year-old to be found and brought home safely. I want that more than anything. Law enforcement advised me on April 2nd that they would not recommend that I attend the press conferences or that I assist in the searches due to safety concerns. However, my non-attendance and silence has been inferred by many as a sign of apathy or worse. That could not be further from the truth. I want Maddi home, and for her to be able to be with our 2 children. God bless the Kingsbury family, and please bring her home safely." End quote. Now, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, or BCA, followed up Adam's statement with their own, stating they are, quote, "not aware of any law enforcement advising Mr. Fravel not to attend news conferences or searches for Madeline." End quote. And there's more. In terms of cooperating with law enforcement, well, we have a court document that, in my opinion, also just doesn't align with Adam's statement. On April 4th, 5 days after Maddi was last seen, the Winona County Health and Human Services Department was notified that a 72-hour hold was going to be placed on the kids. This is because Maddi is considered an endangered missing person. We also learn that Adam does not have custodial rights to the kids, and Maddi did not have a legal document in place outlining what she would like to happen to them should something happen to her. Basically, without Maddi, the kids have no legal guardian. So the decision was made that it was in the best interest of the children to remove them from Adam's care until they could determine the best place for them to live. So social workers along with law enforcement go to Adam's father's house, where Adam and the kids were residing, to remove them from his care. The petition describes what happened next. Quote, "Social workers assisted law enforcement with executing the 72-hour hold. Once at the residence, father and his family became non-cooperative with officials and would not allow social workers access to the children. At one point, father took the younger child into the residence and locked the door, despite being told that the children were in the care and custody of Winona County. While father was in the home with the younger child, social worker could hear father shouting expletives. social workers attempted to explain to father and his family what the 72-hour hold meant and attempted to encourage the family to be cooperative. These attempts were unsuccessful. Father and his family made multiple calls to father's attorney, and at one point stated that the attorney advised them to take the children in the home so that they could not be removed. Officials on scene informed the family that they cannot obstruct this process. At one point, father's father mentioned that Winona County should prepare for a big lawsuit regarding this. Eventually, father placed the children in the vehicle. One of the social workers attempted to assist father with securing the children in their car seats, but father was not willing to accept assistance. Father ended up placing the children in the wrong car seats. Additionally, father was unwilling to gather belongings for the children. Therefore, the children left the home with only the clothes they were wearing. End quote. Through this document, we also learned that there was no known relevant criminal or child protection history with Adam. As all of this was coming to light, the public was growing more frustrated with the lack of answers in Maddi's case. But on April 12th, the Winona Police Department is able to answer one question. What is going on with Maddi's van? Well, we learned that it was taken, and as of this recording is still being processed for evidence. We also know that Maddi's home has been searched and is also being processed along with a jacket she was wearing that day. As far as official public updates, that's about where Maddi's case is today. No one has heard from Maddi since the morning of March 31st, 2023, and her family is adamant that she has no reason to stay away from her children. While the Winona PD is classifying Maddi as an endangered missing person and consider her disappearance involuntary, no persons of interest or suspects have been named. Maddi's home is now outfitted with security cameras controlled by the Winona Police Department. While her family hasn't given much detail about Maddi's children, we do know that as of this recording, they are still out of Adam's custody and safe. Megan says they're doing well, all things considered. However, according to reporting from Chris Eberhardt with Fox News, Adam is fighting for custody of them. Maddi's aunt, Rebecca Johnson, states that her family has not spoken to Adam since the news about Maddi went public. But the searches for Maddi do continue. The Winona PD and other agencies are still searching targeted areas as leads come in. And Maddi's older brother Steven finally made it back to Minnesota, where he and his friends search for her what looks like pretty much every day. At this point, it seems Megan is the primary spokesperson for Maddi's case. And I've watched more of her interviews than I can count. You can see it all over her face, the toll this is taking on her, and I have to assume the entire family. Megan is out there every day fighting for Maddi. In addition to traditional media interviews with basically every major news network, Megan, like so many families, has taken to TikTok, where she gives daily updates on Maddi's case.
TikTok, I need you to do your thing. I need your help. This is my sister, Madeline, Kingsbury. She's missing. Hey, TikTok, just coming on. Lots of support and boosting of my video about my missing sister, Madeline Kingsbury. Really, really appreciate that. Hey TikTok, I'm posting an update. TikTok, I'm not driving. I'm pulled over. I am out in Fillmore County, driving the drive from where my missing sister Madeline Kingsbury lived in Winona to Mabel, Minnesota, which is in Fillmore County. Hey TikTok, I am just kind of updating with what I can right now. We had a massive turnout for the search today. That was it's Easter Sunday, and my sister is still missing. Police and other law enforcement are obviously still
searching. Everyone's frustrated, and we just can't figure out where she is. My sister should be coloring Easter eggs and eating candy with her kids today. And she can't. Please continue to interact with my posts and boost them, share her information. This has gone on too long. We want to bring her home. All right, TikTok, it's Tuesday the 11th, 10:30 this morning. I've been up for quite a while, doing some more media interviews and things to help spread the word even more about my sister Madeline, who is still missing. Morning, TikTok. I don't have an update. I just wanted to clarify that, I've been using the word frustrated a lot, and I just want to make sure that, we as a family are not frustrated with police at all. They're tirelessly working around the clock. It's just in a sense of we just want to find out where my sister is, and the police do too, so the frustration isn't with them at all. I just wanted to make that very, very clear. All right, it is Thursday, right? April 13th. Still have not found my sister Madeline. Hey, TikTok. Just checking in for today. I don't have any news. I know I usually update sooner, so nothing happened. Madeline still has not been located. Hey, TikTok. Whoa, just checking in. It's Saturday. I am back home just for a couple of days. So it's Saturday night. I'm at home. And it feels so weird. You guys, this isn't even my house. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, and just so much has happened, with Madeline being missing, that it just feels like I don't belong here. And like I've said before, I'm going back to Winona. We just had some things to take care of at home. All right, it's Sunday. Still have not found Madeline. What's the day? The 16th. I don't really have any updates to share. I mean, law enforcement was searching some bodies of water. I think a little bit closer to Maddie's house today. They didn't find anything. Hello, TikTok. It is Monday the 17th of April. Day 18 of this nightmare. Still no update on where Madeline is at. Hey, it's that time of day. Am I really rhyming right now? Seriously. Anyways, it's Tuesday, April 18th. Still have not located Madeline. Not yet, but we will. We will.
That brings me right to our call to action. Please go support Maddie's family. Specifically, if you are on TikTok, please go show Megan some love, just like over 1 million of you did for me and Alyssa. It's not easy putting yourself out there every single day like Megan is. So please go let her know that we have her back, that we are here to support her, to cheer her on, to like and share her videos so Maddie stays top of everyone's mind, so that every person in Winona, Fillmore, and Houston counties check, save, and send all video footage from March 31st and April 1st, 2023 to the Winona Police Department. so that every single person in those counties knows to walk their property. Check any sheds or any structures on their property for anything that can help bring Maddi home. It'll take you 2 seconds to go give Megan a follow, and I really hope that you do. Her username is MEGSMPLS. I'll also have a link in the episode description that you can literally just click. Now, of course, if you aren't on TikTok, please share Maddi's story. You can also follow the Winona PD Facebook page for updates about Maddi's case as it develops. Or you can follow the Finding Madeline Kingsbury Facebook page that is endorsed by Megan. If you are in the area, this is where you can go to find information about how to get involved in searches and stay up to date on the current needs of the case. Maddi's family also has a GoFundMe page if you'd like to contribute monetarily. Everything helps. So let's get the word out there for Maddi, just like she did for Alyssa. As a reminder, Madeline Maddi Kingsbury went missing from her home in Winona, Minnesota on March 31st, 2023. She has not been in contact with any of her friends or family since. Maddi is white, 26 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, with brown hair and hazel eyes. She weighs approximately 135 pounds. The Winona Police Department is urging residents in Minnesota from Winona, Fillmore, and Houston counties to check any camera footage they may have from March 31st to April 1st, 2023. Even if you see nothing on the footage, law enforcement wants to see it. And if you do live in those counties, please check your property for any sign of Maddi Kingsbury. Maddi's family is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to her whereabouts. Anyone with information is asked to call the Winona Police Department at 507-457-6492. Or you can submit a tip anonymously at Crime Stoppers by calling 507-457-6530. But as always, thank you, I love you, and I'll talk to you next time. Voices for Justice is hosted and produced by me, Sarah Turney, and is a Voices for Justice Media original. If you love what we do here, please don't forget to follow, rate, and review the show in your podcast player. It's an easy and free way to help us and help more people find these cases in need of justice. And for even more content, check out my other podcast, Disappearances, only on Spotify. Welcome to the Secret After Show. The studio door is open, and by studio I mean my spare bedroom in my house, and the dogs are running in and out for emotional support. This episode, obviously, if you join me for these secret special after show moments that we have, you heard me talk about this case last week, and I couldn't help but get emotional. It just is what it is. I'm a very sensitive person. I always have been. And when I'm researching these cases, when I'm reading horrific details about a murder or watching videos of families begging for answers, I cry. I mean, obviously, after what I've gone through, it's just incredibly difficult to watch these things unfold. I mean, I know these emotions. I know them. I know what it feels like to have somebody go missing and stay missing for decades. What it feels like to have the police tell you that they know that your loved one has been murdered. And everything in between. including speaking publicly about the case, which is just why I feel so much for Megan. It's one thing to feel and process all of these emotions, and it's something entirely different to have to do that in front of the whole world. Yeah. But I think for obvious reasons, I really wanted to highlight Megan's fight here too. It's really amazing to see when families step up. And from what I can see, this family is just absolutely amazing. It makes sense. A lot of families do choose a single media contact. So I don't want you guys to think that, like, you know, Maddi's family isn't involved, because they all seem incredibly involved and incredibly, devoted. I mean, gosh, look at her brother coming back, from his placement. It's just insane. But like I said, I especially when I got to Megan's TikTok, I just wanted to kind of show you, like, this is what it's like. I'm getting emotional now. When I was going through her videos, it's like you can just see it. And she's a beautiful woman. I'm not trying to say anything, but you can just see how tired she is. And as you progress through those videos, and she's like, "Wait, what day is it?" It just like hit me right in the heart. But okay, you guys know that. Obviously, I'm sending all the love to Maddi's family, who are going through a lot right now. I also wanted to talk about kind of how I structured this episode and let you know that there's a big reason why I wanted to include so much audio from Megan and, basically just statements from the police directly. This case is so new. And if you watch any of the news coverage of Maddi's family and law enforcement, they are both being extremely cautious in what they respect or in what they release. And I want to respect that, is what I was trying to say. I think it's important. I wanted to take their lead and just put out the facts because, again, if you look at this case, there is a lot of speculation, and that's not what I'm here to do. I just want to help raise awareness. And I know that I have listeners in Minnesota, so again, I really hope that if you're in the area and you're able to and want to, and you're in a place mentally where you can, that you go help. I mean, we always talk about getting involved, right? And a lot of the time it is just sharing these cases, and that's great. It really is. I cannot overstate how important it is for everyone out there to be sharing these cases, but when you're local and you can do something hands-on, that's huge. So I really hope you guys, if you are in Minnesota, that you are able to somehow find a way to get involved. And if you do, I would love to hear about it. It's the whole reason I do this show. I want to make a difference. I want to inspire people to care about these cases. Like I know I touched on it in the episode, and I talk about not sugarcoating how they feel. And I think it's so funny because I get flack sometimes, your show is so sad. And it's like, my show is real. And I just focus on maybe some things that some other creators don't. For example, I often don't include, gory details, especially when it comes to, an unsolved murder that I'm covering. Those are details that I don't find important that other people do. And when I see these cases, I think it's really important to focus on the journey and be really, really honest about what these families go through. Because like I said in the main episode, sugarcoating that doesn't do anything for anyone. So yeah, I mean, if you're willing to put out, the worst of the worst details of somebody's life out there, I don't understand why we aren't talking more about the family's emotions and what they actually go through, because it does matter. Now, the other thing I wanted to touch on was, and I almost put it in the episode, but I was trying so hard not to put any of my opinion on there. But I will say the fact that these kids left their father's custody with just their clothes on their back broke my heart. You guys know I say it all the time. I used to work with kids in foster care, and those kids would come with nothing or trash bags full of stuff. If they were lucky, they had some suitcases full of stuff, of course. But that was a big thing when I worked with kids in foster care was, ownership of items. And it may seem so petty, right? But it's when these kids leave, and I know that these kids are young, but, when they leave without, their favorite body wash, especially a little kid, right? Like maybe it's like some character body wash that they just love, or a toothpaste or a toothbrush, or just, all those little creature comforts from home. When they leave without any of that stuff, I just know it makes it that much harder. Yeah. And I don't want to talk too much about the kids. It doesn't feel like my place, but I will say that that was especially heartbreaking for me. I mean, of course, the whole thing is heartbreaking, but again, your mom's missing and you're taken from your dad's custody and you don't know what's going on. And on top of that, when you leave, you don't have any of your stuff to comfort you. So just an absolutely heartbreaking case. And yeah. And I know it's really, really early in the case, and sometimes I do cover them when they're early. Most of the time I do try to wait for them to develop a little bit further, but you guys, when I read that article, when I saw, and I went on her Facebook, which please, oh my gosh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Don't go find these people's Facebooks, but I just wanted to see the post. That's all. I didn't comment or anything that would feel inappropriate, but I went and saw the post about Alyssa, and it just hit me. Maddi was a member of Alyssa's army when I was fighting for Alyssa, and I feel like the least I could do is make this episode for her. So all I can hope is that it really does make a difference. So again, please share, you guys. Let's show Maddi's family what Alyssa's army can do. I mean, the whole point of continuing this show was to take that concept, that passion, that empathy that we created for Alyssa's case with all of you amazing people listening right now. The whole point was to take all of you wonderful people and have you care about other cases just like Maddi's. So again, Maddi did it for Alyssa. Let's do it for her. But as always, thank you for tolerating me. I love you, and I'll talk to you next time.